Welcome back, and we kick off immediately with Tsepu's request. Tsepu, you're looking for Boss Energy, and that is listed on the Australian index. And I think you said that you actually inquiring about a friend for you. A friend of you asked you to maybe just drop us an email. Well, we did that, and I hope that the guy is watching the show. And of course, if you look at Boss Energy, I mean, it almost went from about 46 cents all the way up, and it looks like at this 260, 270 level, we find some resistance there. Now let's have a look. If I look at the chart here, if I draw this line in, there you are. There's the left shoulder. There's the head. There's the right shoulder forming. And some people will say it's maybe a triple top, an irregular triple top. But let's use this as a head and shoulder formation. The neckline sits at 2 exactly, 2 Australian dollar, and if you look at it, if it comes back, where can it go to? There you are. Just want to do the extension there. For me personally, I think you may be a little bit, or your friend is maybe a little bit late to buy, unless he's a momentum trader. But for me, I will look at this $2 level. If it breaks below that, it can easily pull back to 1.17. If you're a momentum trader, of course, this whole market is momentum nowadays. I will use that. That's my line there. And what do we see? Suddenly, if we do that, we see a symmetrical triangle. And what does a symmetrical triangle do? It can either break to the upside or to the downside. So the neckline stays exactly at the same spot. But if it breaks above 270, 265, we can see a beautiful move to the upside. So your friend has got two choices now. Either sit on his hands, wait for the head and shoulder to play out, or buy above 265, make use of a stop loss of 224, and maybe reach for 330. Because I can tell you why he's asking about it. Everybody is into energy stocks now. Everybody believes that energy is the play of the future. Ishmael is looking for PPL Corporation. Well, Ishmael, I mean, this share is just marking time here. If you look at it, I will just say, let's just do the following, and you will immediately see what I show you. There's the resistance line. There's the support line. Ishmael, that is quite an interesting chart here, because after this massive sell-off that we had there, it's consolidating since May last year. It's consolidating, just sitting right. Actually, from May 2020, it's consolidating. And I mean, if you are a punter and if you believe in this consolidation, then it's time to buy it. And probably, I don't know if you did buy it at that 2610 level. That's close to the support line. But if you believe that it can go up again to that $30, then you must maybe buy it right where it is now at 2660, and then maybe make use of it. There you are, stop loss of 25, 22, and your targets to the top will be 27.46, 27.80, 28.18, 29.24, and 30. So not a bad chart here. And I mean, it bounces off the support line. There's a bit of a higher low there. You can see there. I just want to show you. There you are. There's the low. There's a higher low. This chart actually looks good to me. So maybe it's time to buy it. Stick to your stop loss. And then maybe you can go all the way to your target. Rassi is asking about Remgro. Now, I don't know if it's Rassi, the big Springbok man, the coach that helped us. I hope it is him. If it's not him, he didn't put down his surname. But I mean, look at this chart. From 85 all the way, beautiful move to 152. You guys know by now that I like this company. I mean, it's a solid performer. And what I like about the chart, it's got this wonderful slow slope of going higher and higher, higher. I can just put that line in and then you will see what I'm talking about. I think, there you are. Can you see here what I'm seeing? We moved above this ascending channel, and that is positive. And while we're above this line, we know an ascending channel will trigger a profit sometime. But while it is above this line of 148.32 on a weekly close, so that's on a Friday close, that tells me that the share is still in a good move to the upside. I will not buy it. I mean, some guys bought it at 100 Rand. It's now 152. And this is now the kind of share that I would like to point out to viewers. When we get maybe a proper bear market, or again like a COVID or a scare into the market, and the share really drops to pieces, then it's time to buy Remgro, and then you just sit on it and you just wait for it, and then you accumulate little bits and pieces. And remember, Remgro's got a big stake in Mediclinic, and things starts to turn around there, and if it carries on like that, you can maybe see that Remgro will treat you well in future. So unfortunately, Rassi, I will say just sit on your stock, and if I will buy it again, I'll wait for this line. That will be 133.40. I will buy it at 133.40. I will make use of a stop loss of 129.06. Otherwise, if you've got the stock, just hold on to it, because I think it's a solid company with good management and a conservative play, but I think a sure play. Solly is asking about C Limited. Well, it's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And Solly, I mean, this share tumbled from all above 360. Can you believe it? From 360 all the way down, and it went as low as 90 the other week. I mean, this is a weekly chart. It's a little bit early to say that it's going to give us a beautiful rally. But usually what I do see is, and I want to draw it in for you, when you see such a sell-off on a waterfall formation, you can always say to yourself that you usually see, if it starts to turn around, you will see what we call a V formation. And there you are. Let's see if this waterfall formation can turn into a beautiful V recovery shape. So if you look at this, I will use that line there just to show you. And there's my spot. I'll play a little bit safe. I'll tell you why, because this resistance line turned into a support, but look what the share did in the past. It fall, and it goes up a little bit, fall again, same thing. It's like a pattern. So I want this little spot there to turn into a support. If that can turn into a support, I'll be happy with C Limited. So if you do buy it above that, and there's your level, the level is 139.40, make use of a stop loss of 90 on the dot, and your targets will be 160.23. There you are, 173.82, 181.10, and maybe if you're lucky can go back to 209. This chart looks okay to me. Maybe it's time to nibble there, but wait for this to turn around into a support. The stock's been under huge pressure. Maybe something fundamentally to change that we don't know, but at the moment it looks like it wants to turn around. Only above that line I'll get positive about the chart. Nelson is asking about Absa. I mean, Nelson, look at this performance. I mean, from April 2020, from 70 Rand to 188.58, it just goes higher. There was a little bit of a sell-off a few weeks back in October last year at the end. Since then, just up. And remember, this is a weekly chart. And I just want to show you here. Look at this. I'm doing this line, and I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Just to show you the trend. It goes all the way. It comes back, it tests it, and then suddenly, poops, up again there. Nice chart here. I will actually say it's maybe a little late to buy again, because the chart had a beautiful rally. But I mean, if you are a momentum trader, like everybody nowadays is a momentum trader, there you are. I will maybe make use of a stop loss of 170.60, and I mean, this chart can easily go, and I just want to show where was his high in 2018. Look at it. If it's above that 183.87, I mean, it's only a little bit of work to be done at back to 206.61. This chart actually looks good to me. So maybe a buy, stick to your stop loss, but only if you are a momentum trader. What can I say? Jan is asking about Capitec. Jan, same story here. I mean, look at it, all-time high, nothing wrong. I mean, this was one of the best investments many years ago. I had a friend, he bought it, I think, at 8 Rand or 9 Rand, somewhere around here. And he said to me, listen, Frans, I was so happy when I made 3 or 4 Rand, I sold them. I mean, if you hang on to them now, he said to me, well, you'll probably be happy to retire then. But that's the big thing here. Jan, the momentum is to the upside. Nothing is wrong with it. Look at this momentum. Beautiful. All the way to the top. Nothing is wrong here. And a beautiful channel here. Just look at that. I mean, this is just a solid company. And maybe the financial stocks are telling us something. And I know we're sometimes negative about South Africa and things go wrong, and we all know that. I mean, the banking shares are starting to do well, and they are also looking good on the charts. And yes, of course, they had beautiful rallies, but maybe they're telling us that not everything is doom and gloom in South Africa. Look at this chart. I mean, this chart is doing a lot of the people or assisting people that is getting grants. I mean, that's the C income, but I know they've got a lot of A income clients as well. But look at this chart. Beautiful rally. I will not buy it because it's now right close to the top of that resistance line. I'll wait for it to pull back to, let's call it 1,933 Rand. That's maybe the time to buy it again. Maybe make use then of a stop loss of 1830. And it's just one thing that we need to remember. We are in a market where everything looks good. We are in a market that everything seems to be positive. But what we do know is that Joe Blow that's working for himself, that's been through COVID, that is stuck into all these bad news about the Ukrainian-Russian issue, they are struggling. That's people that close their shops, that's waiting for pension money to bail them out. They're doing not that good. But for people that's in a corporate, that looks okay. Just remember, a bull market can carry on while everybody is just so positive and so optimistic. Just be a little bit careful. These markets had massive rallies. They shrugged off COVID, they shrugged off this war, and nothing looks bad. So I'm just a little bit nervous. But let's end off that session. Visit our website, www.fransklerk.com for more info. We'll chat again.